Setting the tiles. To install multiple surface-applied tiles in a hazardous vehicular area, begin by marking the curb line. The use of a chalk line works well. In accordance with ADA regulations, the edge of the tile should be located 6 to 8 inches from the curb line. Mark this location for the edge of the tile. Marking the tiles for cutting. It is important to maintain consistent dome spacing throughout the detectable warning surface area. Therefore, if the tiles must be cut and butt jointed, it is preferable to cut and join the tiles at midspan of the domes. The midspan is located between the domes at the center of the diamond pattern microtexture. To begin installation, properly locate the tiles and measure the amount of overlap. Divide that measurement in half, then mark the top and bottom tile at this point using a carpenter pencil. Relocate the cutting mark to mid-span between the domes and make any necessary adjustments to the tile. Note, in order to comply with ADA regulations, the dome spacing must always remain between 1.6 and 2.4 inches. In this case, center-to-center dome spacing is maintained at 1.7 inches over the entire detectable warning surface area. Cutting the tiles. Cut the tile using a skill saw with a continuous rim diamond blade. Use of a straight edge will assist in making straight cuts and will improve workmanship. Ensure the saw blade will cut along the marked cut line once the guide is secured. Repeat this process for each tile to be cut. Dry fitting the tiles. Dry fit the tiles in the following manner. Place the tiles at the leading edge of the previously chalked mark area, ensuring the top surfaces across the tiles are flush. Notice that the dome pattern has been re-established and the domes are the correct distance apart from each other. Marking the perimeter. When you have determined the location of the tiles, mark an outline of the perimeter using a pencil or marker. Scuffing the concrete. Using a cup wheel on a grinder, scuff the concrete inside the perimeter of the marked outline to remove any gum, oils, or other residue that could prevent the tile from adhering properly to the concrete. A 7-inch cup wheel works well. Only the area that aligns with the raised boss on the underside of the tile needs to be scuffed. This is where the armor bond adhesive will be applied. If there are any bumps or high spots in the concrete, grind these down to make the entire surface as flat and even as possible. Scuffing the tiles. Note the factory scuff on the raised boss located at the perimeter and midspan on the back side of the tile. The boss is where the adhesive is applied, and the scuff provides a stronger adhesion to the substrate. If the boss has been removed in the cutting process, create a new scuffed area where the adhesive will be applied. A 5.5-inch continuous rim diamond blade works well for this process. Cleaning the concrete and tiles. Clean the area where the tile will be installed by first sweeping the dust and debris from the substrate, then wiping the concrete and tile using acetone and rags. Use separate rags for the concrete and the tile. Acetone is used because it does not leave residue. Applying the adhesive. Before installing the tile, check for any pre-drilled holes and cover them with a small piece of stucco tape to prevent the bonding agent from oozing out. To adhere the tile to the concrete, use the armor bond adhesive supplied with the tile. We recommend using an electric caulking gun. It is easier on your hands and ensures an even flow of the adhesive. To install a 2x4 tile, use one entire tube of armor bond. For a 2x5 tile, approximately 1.5 tubes will be required. On the back of the tile, note the factory scuffed raised boss. Apply armor bond to the raised boss and newly made scuffed areas only. Applying adhesive in the area between the perimeter bosses will reduce the audible detectability feature that the surface-applied tile produces, swept or tapped with a cane. Begin applying the armor bond approximately ½ an inch inside the tile's perimeter edge to avoid unnecessary mess and cleanup. Adhering the tiles. With the adhesive in place, the tile is now ready to be installed on the concrete. Line up the edge of the tile against the marked outline and set the tile within the established location. Standing with both feet applying pressure around the molded recess provided in the tile, drill a hole true and straight to a depth of 3½ inches using a 1/4 inch masonry drill bit. Maintaining foot pressure on both sides of the hole while drilling prevents concrete dust from accumulating between the tile and the concrete, providing a flush tile installation. Immediately after drilling each hole, before moving on to the next, and while still applying foot pressure, mechanically fasten tiles to the concrete substrate using a leather-bound or hard plastic mallet to set the fasteners supplied with the tile, taking care to avoid any inadvertent blows to the truncated dome or tile surface. Working continuously across the tile, proceed to drill and install all remaining fasteners in the tile's molded recesses. If pre-molded recesses are removed by the cut, or to maintain a tight installation to the substrate, any truncated dome can be center drilled with a 1/4 inch through hole and countersunk with a suitable bit to receive additional fasteners. Replacing broken fasteners. During installation, fasteners may break. Simply drill through the fastener into the hole again and reinstall another fastener. Cleaning the edges. Following the installation of the fasteners, the concrete dust should be vacuumed, brushed, or blown away from the tile surface and adjacent concrete. Using acetone on a rag, wipe the concrete around the tile's perimeter to ensure a clean, dry surface to receive perimeter sealant. Installing adjacent tiles. Aligning the next tile with the previous, perform the same installation procedures as before, applying armor bond on the back side of the tile, drilling through the tile into the concrete, installing fasteners, and removing any concrete dust or excess adhesive. Expansion joint. An expansion joint is required when installing adjacent tiles. It will allow material to expand and contract in hot and cold weather conditions. If the expansion joint has been omitted during the installation of the tiles, simply use a mini grinder to make a 1/8 inch wide cut in the joint between the tiles. Sweep and clean the area with a blower and acetone to finish. Sealing the tiles. Tape all perimeter edges of the tile back 1/16 inch from the perimeter edge and tape the adjacent concrete back 1/2 inch from the tile's perimeter edge. Apply Armor Seal perimeter sealant, using care to work sealant into any void between the tile and concrete interface. Tool the perimeter sealant with a plastic applicator or spatula to create a straight edge in a coved profile between the tile and adjacent concrete. Remove tape immediately after tooling perimeter caulking sealant. A mixture of dish soap and water will help smooth sealant imperfections and create an attractive finish.